All right. Good morning, everyone. I hope you are doing well. So I know this video is a little early, but I had to sleep on my Trinity event that I came from yesterday, right? Because boy was it long, and boy were was it something else. But before I was gonna do my decks, what I took into the event, and then what I played against, sort of like a recap. I was gonna try to fit all in one video, but then I realized I'm crazy, and I'm just gonna split it up into two videos for us. All right. So our first video are just the decks that we're running through and why we did what we did. So the first deck. So remember when I told you we were going Gogeta all the way, and we didn't ended up doing it because I don't like green Gogeta. So first, blue Gogeta. All right. So y'all know the drill. This is what this lovely card does. I'm going to let you pause and read this. Basically, all right, he attacks, and you get to look at the top 5 cards of your deck for a blue Saiyan. And permanent, you may choose battle cards in your drop when you choosing cards with a blue Gogeta card union skill from your hand. If you do, add the cards to your Z energy. So normally, right, what you would do is your opponent attacks you. If you go second, right, or if you go first, your opponent, you go charge in energy. Your opponent attacks you, you charge up, you go to 15, you take the life, you put the card over there, wham, bam, shazam, right? And then on your second turn, what you're going to do is you're hopefully going to get one of these guys out, either the Vegeta or the Goku. And because what they do is they search for one another and they send it to the drop. And then you're going to and then you're going to swing with this guy, right? And you're going to combo with this guy because you've already played him on the field. Then you combo with this guy, send him to the drop instead of sending him to your Z energy. And then you union fuse with the Vegeta and the Goku that are in your drop. You throw out your fusion, you awaken, and then that's normally how I play this one, right? Normally I awaken at turn 2 all the time. I don't awaken second, but we're always awakening on that turn 2 mark. So so turn 1, like normally I don't really these two are turn 1, but I don't really need to see these guys, Son Goku Long Awaited Battle and Vegeta First Defense. You can play them turn 1, and they're basically just searchers, but I don't really care for these guys because these are the guys that are really, really important to me. All right. So we only did 1 and 1. We did 3 of these guys. We did 3 of these guys. Next, for our boss monster, we've got 4 of the big guys. Helps us put 3 cards at the bottom of our opponent's decks. Also, for his auto, which I didn't do a lot of, I should have used more. We place 2 of our Z energy into the drop. Whenever our opponent uses cards in the combo, your opponent places 1 card from their hand at the bottom of their deck, and then you negate the skill for the battle. So this is a skill that I sorely underutilized, all right, because I probably could have won my first match with it, but I sorely underutilized my skill. That was my fault. And then next up, we have 3 of these guys. Now, I do love seeing these guys as well because they let you draw a card, and they get 20k and barrier until any of your opponent's turn. So you get a 20k blocker for 1 energy with barrier, and you can attack with him, and his auto is he switches himself to active mode at the end of your turn. Right, so normally he's a good he's like your good first fusion you want to open up with. Your next good fusion you want to open up with, if you see the guy, is our lovely Fusion Warrior debut. Right, he gives your leader +5. He draws a card when you fuse with him. He has Deflect, and he gives your leader +5 when you play this card. And then at the end of your turn, you send him to the drop, and you ready up one of your energies. So if you tap out, if you plan on tapping out, normally like he's the last one I used to tap out, and then we just at the end of your turn, you ready up an energy. Now this fusion I don't really use a lot, but I know why he is here. Battling a strong foe. He does not let you draw a card, and when he attacks, you can put one of your opponent's battle cards and place it at the bottom of its owner's deck. And then, if your leader is a blue Gogeta card and you discard one card from your hand, you draw two. So it lets you draw two pretty much all the time. Um, I'm not gonna. It's not bad. It's just that like this guy's only here for like a turn, so he's there to get rid of something annoying, and then your opponent's probably gonna get rid of him. But if he stays on the field, he's gonna get you more value because he's gonna let you filter through your worthless cards. I only run two of them though because I don't feel like he offers you really good protection because we need our other two fusions offer us a good steady supply of protection, and then our third fusion is our big boss fusion is really good at attacking stuff. He is like sort of middling, but I do like the ability to just draw cards. Next up, we run four of the Vegeta's Height of Power. Um, it's good. It's an amazing card. Um, I would definitely say that if you always have, if you're running decks that have a lot of Z energy, because you only need two Z energy, you play this guy. He gives your leader plus 5k. He lets you draw, and then when he attacks, he also removes cards as well. So he's an annoying small card, but he's something that your opponent is going to have to pay attention to. Next next chapter is we are going into the cards that sort of bother our opponent. So we are doing 4 defending friends. Of course we are. That's really our only good floodgate. We do have 2 heroic prospects. I don't have any unisons in the deck because I rely on the Z unisons. So like if I see heroic prospect, I might try to get the unison out, but that's a big maybe. All right. We do have emotional blow in case we ran into a yellow deck that had indestructible or something. This was going to be the guy to get rid of that. Zamasu counter. We have 2 of these guys just in case we ran into red. And then we have your Golden Avenger that you always put in the blue deck because you never know when you get this late stage and you need to just stop something. We have our Goku's Kamehameha. We have one of these, right? It's a good, it's a good IAR. All right, it gives you 1500. It helps you either survive or it helps you kill. One of the two. That's why we got it there. We run one Sensu Bean. I don't like running too many because I wanted to keep this deck at like around 50-ish. We ended up going to like 55. But I didn't want to go past 55 with this deck. So we got one Sensu Bean, and then we won 3 Mortals Be Gone. There's nothing better than your opponent comboing, and then the card that they're attacking with just disappearing because it's under 4. All right. It's a beautiful thing, and because most of the time we will have 3 energy out, we're just gonna see him. We're gonna see him on the field doing things. We've got a Desperate Measure. So this is those times when your opponent is throwing out that, or for example, that Panzino, when she throws out that black. Oh, what's the one? That black Supreme Kai that has blocker, right? You do Desperate Measures, bounces it right back to his hand. All right. Because we do the same thing, Absolute Release Ball. I think I like Desperate Measures more than Absolute Release Ball. But I went 1 and 1. I wasn't sure when I was gonna need them. And the reason why is because we needed some more. We wanted to make sure we had cards in our deck that could stop our opponent from doing things. All right. Because I realized I have a good friend. His name's Gandhi. And we talk about Dragon Ball a lot. And so I showed him my initial deck list, and my initial deck list like did not have a lot of these things. That just interrupted with what my opponent was doing because this is on me. I vastly underestimate how stopping my opponent from doing things works. All right, like I would rather do my things and then just do more of my things, but it's a real interesting like back and forth, stopping your opponent, making your opponent waste energy to play a card, and then getting rid of that card. Really interesting. We run 2 of these cunning trios. You're always gonna run like 2 to 4 of these. All right, it's a really good card. All right, because they rip off something, dual attack, triple. They just rip off something. I think they're really helpful in helping you stay alive. Next, we got 2 of the Brolys. come on, Broly's probably, you're gonna see him in every blue deck. All right, he's just too good to not play in the blue deck. 2 energy, you throw this bad boy out. The only one you won't see him in is Daima because you can't play cards by skills. That Daima Goku, but I mean, you're gonna see him in almost every blue deck because he's just too good to not put in. All right, he's not. He's gonna be your turn 2 or 3 boss monster that your opponent's gonna have to figure out to get rid of. Is your opponent gonna get rid of him? Yes, they will. But how will they get rid of him? By spending an energy or two. So they're gonna have to work hard to get rid of him. So having him on the field is always a plus. Next, we got our 4 copies of D Magic because why not? You know what I mean. And for our super combos, we have 2 Zenos and 1 Son Goku defense. I realized this while I was sitting there looking through my decks, making sure I was set. This was my 4th super combo, and it's blue-yellow. And I'm already running yellow in my green deck. So, unfortunately, I had to run 3 super combos for this event. Yes, that did suck. But, you know, gotta do what you gotta do. And then for our super, it's Beyond the Ultimate. The reason we went beyond the Ultimate over Hatch is because this is more of an attacking deck. So we're really just trying to, be aggressive, stop our opponent from doing things while maintaining our attacks. That's really what we want to do. Did I talk about my leader front side? I don't think I did. So he has the same permanent. You can use cards from your drop to perform the union skill from your cards. Blah, blah, blah. All right. You may choose battle cards in your drop when choosing cards to use with a blue Gogeta BR cards union skill from your hand. If you do, add the chosen cards to your Z energy. All right. And then when this card attacks, you draw a card, and then once per turn, if you have a battle card with a union skill in play, and you place one of your Z energy into your drop, switch this card to active mode. So he's always going to give you extra times to attack with this guy. So you're always going to be drawing 2 cards as long as they don't dormant you. I mean, like, it's really interesting because, again, you know, I think he's a really good leader. You know, I'm just not that good of a player yet. I will be, though. I definitely will be. Next, for our Z deck, we have Frieza Son Goku versus Frieza Final Battle Wish. It's a 2-drop unison. Again, you know, if you see Heroic Prospect in your hand, I see no reason not to throw this guy out. Hi, Lulu. I'm in the middle of a video. Please don't think you're gonna sleep there, all right? He will let you plus up, and you switch up one of your energy to active mode, so you don't really tap out with him. And then he has his -7, but chances are you're not, you know, your opponent is probably going to try to kill that before then, but, you know, it's just, yes, I see you. All right, get your butt out the way. She's distracting me with her lovely fur. You know, she's just an easy turn 2 union. You're like, at every step, right? And for example, like at turn 3, this could be our turn 3 fusion, our turn 3 Z unison. So you always have a Z unison that you can play at turn 2 or turn 3 if you want to. But I don't like tapping out because I like being able to interrupt my opponent from doing things. So this is more like a turn 4 unison, and this is more like a turn 3 unison. All right, I like having the options to do things. And again, you're gonna see her in almost every Z deck. She's just too good because her +1 gets rid of a card, and you switch this card to active mode. It's just really good. Double strike blacker, and she lets you tag out. Her effect only works for Gamma, but we're not really worried about that. And then her 0 lets you. There we go. I was trying to figure out the right angle for this. Her +0 sort of removes cards from your opponent's hand and switches up your energy to active mode. So there are ways to play around this. Next up, we threw in a Hunger. Android 21 in the name of Hunger. Again, she's good to get rid of cards from your opponent's field. And if they have a nice keyword like Triple Strike, she can get that. And she also lets you ramp up as well. So I don't feel bad like playing her. Like I feel like she's really good. You know what I mean? But you got to get that far in the game. And again, a lot of the decks are trying to kill you at turn 3 or turn 4. Turn 2 or turn 3, I'm sorry. Next we have King Goma, Power of the Evil Third Eye. You might play. See, he's a weird one because like he costs 3 energy. In the Demon Realm decks, you won't. You'll play him a lot. But I threw him in here because again he can, when he attacks, your opponent places 1 card from their hand at the bottom of your deck. So it sort of gets rid of cards from your opponent hand. Doesn't force him to discard though, but it does give you some nice little limit. It does limit the options your opponent has. And then of course we have the Vegito Godly Spirit. Why wouldn't we? Yep, you can read that. That's a lot of things that he does. Gets rid of cards in your opponent's hand. We do have a Son Goku Stronger Together. We also threw him in there because, again, if your opponent has more cards in their hand than you, well, we're going to stop him from having that many cards in hand. And then we have Cell, Awakening of the Created. His job is to get rid of cards in my opponent's field. All right, because, again, a lot of Swarm decks are out there. And sometimes you just don't have the, you need something to get rid of it. Well, here's Cell Awakening. And as long as they don't have Barrier, he is going to take them all. And then he can ready himself up. So you have 2 attacks with crit. And if you get rid of 4 cards, he gains triple strike. So, yeah. He's a really strong card. Of course, we threw in our Practicing Fusion. Because you're going to have the Z extra out to sort of cycle through your deck. We have a Whis waiting patiently, which is also another phenomenal Z unison. You can get him out for 2 energy if you get this out. So this could be like your turn 3, turn 4. Or turn 2 if you go second, like you do your Practicing Fusion, and then you get out Whis. But there's a lot of extra things. There's also our Frieza. He is a blocker, but he doesn't have barrier, so most people just get rid of him easy peasy. So I find myself playing this less and less. The only thing I don't have is the big Z extra that gives you plus 10k in this deck. But you decided to lay it on there. But yeah, already okay. We need to speed this a little bit up. So that's the blue Gogeta deck, right? That's what we ran with. Again, we had 3 super combos because we did blue yellow, but it is what it is. All right, next deck. You know it. Son Goku and Vegeta. And Gogeta Fateful Fusion. Now, I'm going to do a play, but I'm not going to read each and every individual card because, again, this is a long video. So, yeah, I want to make this as painless as possible. So, I'm just going to tell you why these cards are here, but I will try to keep them as close as I can to the thing for you to read. So, this is our leader. Fusion, again, we're doing the same thing, trying to win by turn 3, 4. All right, we're not trying to go into turn 4, but if we have to, it's because we're trying to win. Next one, Thwarting the Dark Empire. Come on, there we go. Yes, Overrealm or Union Fusion, preferably Union Fusion. He's a 1-cost double strike. Really good. We actually went down to 3 cracks in the space-time because we have 4. 4 was a bit overkill, but it allowed me to put in some more cards to mess with my opponent. Marvelous Might, we went to 2 of. I know I had 4 originally, but again, I just felt like 2 was just fine because I don't even really play this guy, and it's very rare that I do. Next, we get Super Saiyan 4, Gogeta Flash. We got 4 of these because we want to see them. We want to see them somewhere, preferably not in a warp. We have True Fighting Spirit. He's just a really good 1-drop. We went down to 2 Fearless Fusions. 4 was too much. And we basically, because here's the thing, right? There's only a few fusions that we are looking forward to playing with our Rush deck. So this guy, the only reason I went to 2 on him is because he does let me get rid of a 4-cost, ignoring barriers. So I thought that was really good. But other than that, though, we're not really trying to play him. But he does help us remove things. We have our 4 targets. We might play them. We might not. They help us draw. So who knows what will happen sometimes. Excuse me. Again, some more targets. We have two of the otherworldly infiltrators. They got crit, helps me draw, and it's almost free if you have an Overwhelm of 5. Combo attacks. Overwhelm 4. If we see them, great. If not, hopefully they go into the warp faster so they can be used as fusion pieces. Striking a weak point. Again, fusion pieces. I don't really use these guys for their counter skill, but yeah, I really just try to use them for fusion because we don't really use the unisons. All right, I'm just gonna be honest with you, we don't, because I don't. Again, I'm not trying to stay here that long. Demon God Deborah counter. We have one of, he was at 2. We moved him down to 1 because we want to add some cumbers onto the field thanks to some glorious recommendations. So we did 3 Assailants Furies. And all we need to do is see one in our hand, and then we never have to worry about it again. 3 Bardock's Tenacious to sort of stall out the game if we have to. Hopefully we don't. Hostile Say in the counter. So funny interaction, right? I was playing against Pan, and my opponent attacked me. This is turn 1, right? I didn't play anything turn 1. I just charged and waited. My opponent attacked me. They had a Pan out, so they comboed with the card. I comboed with this guy. I added it to my Z energy, and then I paid 1 when this is added to my Z energy to get rid of the Pan that he played, setting him back. So that was kind of funny. It was definitely worth putting 2 of these guys in. I will not lie to you there. They were very helpful. Next, we use our 4 Vegeta, the Prince Strikes Back. I got my 1 shiny, my 2 cool ones, and my 1 regular one. Alright, he's just good. Even if he gets sent to the warp, we can still use him for fusion piece because he is a Vegeta Xeno. Next up, Begrudging Allies. This is to just get rid of cards. Did this card help? Absolutely, it did. Alright. I've used this card. Again, the reason we took out a lot more fusions and we sort of cut out some of the things from my first video is to add more of these cards in. So we added Begrudging Allies, Power Burst to help me get 1 drops in case I need to combo, Petrification. I might have did 1 more Petrification over the Power Burst. Super Kamehamehas to get rid of cards as well. And then we have our Supporting the Dark Empire, followed by our SCR Heroine's Lineage. So again, these 2 were basically there to stop my opponent from playing cards or sending them to the warp immediately. And these guys were here to stop attacks. This one's here to get rid of pesky cards that are going to be blockers next turn. And then, yeah, we have a Supported Dark Emperor to sort of keep us alive. Now, again, with the way I play the deck, I play it more in a rushing manner. So I won't lie to you, I'm probably not using this deck as best as I could. But I don't know, it feels really difficult to try to switch back to it feels difficult to try to switch to like a slower game with this deck. Because it feels like it's pushing you to go fast, especially with the flash. But I actually made a mistake earlier that cost me the game because it was turn 2. I played this guy and I was supposed to do this to wipe my opponent's board, and I freaking forgot to do it. So I had to Union Fuse again and then try to just win the game that turn because I messed up and I knew I wasn't going to survive next turn. But again, I'm the type of player where if I make a mistake, I notice it then. And I've never made that mistake until that game against Blue Gohan, which was really funny. Next, for our Z deck, we are running 2 of these lovely little girls. Supreme Kai of Time, Energy Release. You know it. Helps me awaken turn 1. Majin Buu Pure Destroyer. He's there to get rid of cards. We don't really use them a lot, but sometimes we will. Mighty Blast, you know you always got to have that 1 Z extra. Vegito Barrage, don't play him. We don't play him at all, really. 2 of the Union of Sparks. Journey Through Time, in case we do get him out. Whoops, I didn't mean to hit that. I'm sorry. Beware Shakiness. Fighting Spirit could win you the game, but it didn't win me that game. And then we got our Demi-Gra Wormhole Oakman, so we can hit people with our counters in case we needed to. I will say for this deck, right? So I didn't realize, right, that with these guys, if you have this guy out and then you counterplay, these guys just stay on the field. Because I thought you had to overwhelm them, right? So like the way I've been playing them is like when I counter, I overwhelm them. Even if I have these unison out, so I counter, I overwhelm them, and then they disappear at the end. That's how I've been playing it, and I had to play against it to realize, oh, that's not how that works. That's kind of funny. So, um, that's the Black Gogeta deck. Oof, see what happens when that was like 6 minutes. All right. Bam, green Gogetas. So, and green Gogeta, green Vegito. This is our third deck. Son Goku and Vegeta. We don't use the healing pods. We go through the fusion for the most part. So we have our prodigious fusions again. Try to make sure you can read this. So if you need to pause it to see what it does, this is what it do. So we ran 3 of the Protara premonitions. All right. We want to see these guys in drop. We want to see at least 1 to 2 of them in drop. So when we attack with this guy, we can get this guy on the field. All right. I made the mistake of putting these guys in my energy, and I realized my mistake afterwards. So I won't make that mistake again. These guys, I run 3 of. Next up, we have Vegeta protecting his loved ones. I actually took out my Vegeta Protara premonitions because, thanks to some recommendations from my friend, he told me no one runs those because they're crap and they have these 2 better 1-drops. So we have Majin Exterminator and we have Protecting His Loved Ones. So, this is for our counter green and this is for our counter blue. So we ran into blue or green, we were going to be just fine. Next up, we have 4 of these guys. There are searchers, and they're also fusion targets. So we put them in Z energy. We can fuse with them. We have 4 of the God challengers. They search out the other God challenger and add it to the Z energy. Really nice. And then we have 4 Hyper Rush. I love Hyper Rush. Hyper Rush is probably my favorite fusion. It's just the same. He doesn't have barrier. And then we have All Out Super Warrior. Again, another one of my favorites. He has triple attack, not triple strike. Guess who made that mistake before? But we put in 2 of them because the reason we threw in 2 of them is because we wanted to put some other boss monsters in. We do have 4 Pataras. I'm actually not sure if I want to have this many Pataras in. But because you can always rinse and reuse them. These guys, I'm probably going to go to 3 of each. Or at least 3 Gokus and 3 Vegetas. I don't think I need 4 of them. Next up for our super fusions, we went 2 Paragus and 2 Great Saiyamans because I like splitting my super combos depending on what I'm playing against. Next, we also have 2 Father-Son Solidarities. Again, we wanted some big monsters. And then we have 2 Trunks, Path to the Future. And then we are running 2 Gogeta Clash with Ultimate Eva. Alright, and again, these are just... I wanted to diversify the big guys that I had in this deck, so that way we can be even more... So that every turn in the game, we're always going to have threat on the field. If we don't have a fusion out, we have a big guy out. So that was the way I was mentally thinking this in my head. So, of course, we run our 4 Dormants. We have our 4 or... 3 uneasing. 3 uneasing awakened rage. We have 2 homie clones. 2 focused breakthroughs. 2 shocking death balls. And then we did 2 of the Son Goku counters. Come on, focus it. There we go. And then we did 2 Omens of Evolution. And then we did 1 Charismatic, followed by our secret Porunga. So here's the thing, right? With this part, this was all cards to annoy my opponent. So Charismatic Villain gets rid of a card. These guys, like my opponent attacks me, normally, and like if they need Z energy, we sort of go, no. No Z energy for you. No Z energy for you. So I really do like this guy in green decks. I think he's so good. to just annoy your opponent. I didn't really play this guy a lot because I didn't the blue decks. I didn't play like I played a blue deck, but I didn't play this deck into a blue deck, so that kind of was like a whiffiness. Um, the shocking death ball. I don't know how I feel. If anything, probably should add like another focus breakthrough because I'm realizing more that it's better to just not let cards hit the field than letting them hit the field and attacking. So I'm switching more towards more focused breakthroughs and stuff. And then we have our homing clones to negate certain attacks. And yeah, I will say so like as you can see from the extras that I have in all three of my decks, these were all recommendations to me from my friend Gandhi. Because again, like my original deck, it didn't have all these extra cards. Like it didn't have the focus breakthroughs. I only had like one homicidal maniac, and I wasn't even running this. All right, because I didn't really, again, because I felt like I do what I do good. I just need to do it better. But I will say that having cards to interrupt my opponent from doing things is very helpful. The reason we went Purunga is because I'm already running green yellow, and I feel like Purunga is just really good. He did help me board wipe, and he did help me reduce my opponent's hand and make my hand bigger. Ooh, half an hour. All right. And we finished this. Oh no, wait. We gotta do our Z extra. All right. So we have our 2 attaining greater powers. We also have our suppressing immortal focus, or I'm sorry, suppressing immortal gods. And then we have our 2 Brolys, because why not? We have our mighty blast, because why not? We have our meteor of destruction, why not? Frieza, resurrected ambition, because of course. Jiren, the immovable. And then we have our Piccolo power up. And the reason that we have Piccolo is because I feel that this is a really good staple Z card. Because as long as you have 5 cards, you can just, if you get him on the field, you can just kill something, ignore barrier. And I think that's really strong. But there's gotta be something there for you to kill. That's what I mean. And then yeah, I think those are the 3 decks that we played with. Again, during my second round, I didn't use blue because because I realized I had 3 super combos. So I really tried to play blue less. I did play it in my first game against Panzino, but I never played against Panzino, so I wasn't sure how to really play against her. No, we're gonna do that in a separate video because this video is already long enough. So yes, these are the 3 decks that we use for Trinity, and look forward to my next one when I go over how we did. And believe me, I wish it was way better. But again, I will catch you all in the next one. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys. Later.